How many auditions should I be getting right now? Are my reps even sending me out? I feel like I'm not getting enough. What is the normal audition rate? Let's talk about it. Auditions. Either you have not enough, not the type of auditions you want, or you have too many that it can be too difficult to handle. 8 auditions and they're 7 pages each? Yikes. Our job as actors is to audition. Yes, it's also to act, but if you ask any working actor, they'll tell you that the most thing that they do is audition. That's why I'm so grateful to Backstage because their platform makes it incredibly easy to find the right auditions that are specific to you with their customizable searches. You can then save these searches and they will be emailed to you so that you never miss an audition opportunity. Now, when I was first starting out in my acting journey, my auditions were far and few between. I was self-submitting most of the days, I was non-union, and I wasn't really sure where to start or how to create a competitive profile. But with Backstage, it will automatically rate your profile out of 10 so that you know how your profile stacks up against someone else's. Mine currently has a rating of 8 out of 10, which is what you want to strive for or higher. Now, I'm a bit further along in my career, and I think what really helps me receive more auditions is being on top of my SAG dues, my level of experience on sets with the credits that I have, my representation, educating myself about the industry I'm in by constantly reading the trades and industry news, which can be found on Backstage's online magazine, my online presence, and strengthening the competitiveness of my casting profile. We'll talk about this more in detail, but there are so many factors that go into how many auditions you receive. If you're not where you are in your career right now, please don't give up. I encourage you to stay focused and I encourage you to stay realistic about where you are in your career and what you want. What shows are perfect for you? Are your materials up to date? Once you've received that audition, are you ready to dive in and be creative, regardless of the outcome? There's only one actor who can get the job. And if it's not you, it's okay. Our job is to audition and to bring characters to life that are just words on a page. Your time will eventually come. You just have to stay consistent. The only things we have control over in this industry are our education, our mindset, and the strength of our casting profiles and acting materials. So I highly recommend that you use Backstage. You can use my link in the description box down below, as well as my code NICO in order to get your first month of Backstage for $5. There's really no reason not to try it out. Comment down below Backstage if you are ready to take advantage of what they have to offer you. Thanks so much Backstage for sponsoring this video. Y'all are dope. Hi Honey Bunch, happy Thursday. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I make videos about what I've learned thus far in the acting industry, and I share all of that knowledge that I've learned with you in the hopes that it will offer you clarity and transparency as you pursue this creative career. So if all that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's continue on this journey together. Okay, let's let the cat out of the bag. This year, and especially right now, it has been extremely slow. We've been through a pandemic. We've been through 2 strikes, possibly a 3rd strike. Who knows when the industry will fully bounce back from all of that. Right now, everyone's just trying to figure everything out. So take a deep breath. If it's slow for you, you are not alone. In this video, I'll be walking you through how many auditions I get per month via my audition tracker. And I'll also share some of my self-tapes with you, as well as some of my statistics. You know, if I was pinned for a role, booked the role, called back for a role, or just heard crickets on it, which let's face it is most auditions. But first, let's talk about some factors that may contribute to how many auditions you receive. Number 1 is union status. If you're a SAG-AFTRA pre-member, i.e. you haven't joined SAG yet, then your auditions may be lower for the roles that you want to go out for. And that is totally normal. Number 2, representation. If you are with an agency that you like and generally have a good rapport with, then chances are you may be seen more than someone who may not have representation or representation that they don't completely trust. Number 3, reputation. Okay, here's the deal. Let's say you're with an agency, yay, but you feel like you're being shelved. Boo. Like you're not being sent out. You rarely ever hear from them. When you send them an email, you feel like it takes some days, maybe weeks to reply. You speak with other actors that they're also representing, and they're all in the same boat. It's probably not you then. It may be, your rep's reputation. In a city that is built on reputation and who you know, if your rep did someone dirty, chances are it will be difficult for them to get you into rooms. Do some digging and see what you can find out. And don't be afraid to ask your reps for a submission report. This is a record of everything your reps have submitted you for. Just be careful not to ask for this too often because it could come off like you don't trust your reps or that you don't think your reps are doing their job. Maybe like once a quarter, maybe if that should be enough. And maybe you shouldn't trust your rep. Who knows? Do some digging. Find out for yourself. Number 4. Category. You guessed it, it comes down to how you look and what vibes you generally give off. This industry constantly ebbs and flows, and when it swings in one direction, it will always swing back in the other. So if you know actors who are working right now, ask yourself, are they in my same category? Are they your same type? Would you be going out for the same roles? If not, you're fine. Don't stress about it. But if all of your friends are working and they are in the exact same category as you and in the same level in their career as you are, and you've never heard of or even been called in for the projects they're working on, maybe have a chat with your reps and see what's going on. Maybe there's a class that you need to take, or maybe you need to brush up your materials to make them more specific. Do some digging. And number 5. Level. If you've listened to the AUDREY Helped Actors podcast, which if you haven't, why? It's free and it's sensational. And if you're watching this, Audrey, thank you. You're awesome. But if you've listened to that podcast, then you're familiar with levels in one's acting career. Level 1, copy credit meals, student films, maybe a co-star. Level 2, actor co-stars, indie films, maybe one guest star. Level 3, guest stars, recurring studio features, and series regulars. So if you're a level 1 actor or even a level 2, you may find that you have slightly more auditions maybe than someone who is a level 3 actor. This is because there are more roles available for co-stars than there are guest stars. There's more roles available for student films and indie features, etc. But once you hit level 3, sometimes, depending on your category, you may not have as many because you're up against people who are offer only, who've already been on series as series regulars. You're up against celebrities who are doing TV. Plus, by the time you're a level 3 actor, casting directors usually are familiar with your work or they've brought you in a bunch. So they'll generally call you in if they know that it's something that you will knock out of the park since they know you. They don't want to waste your time. Okay, so now that you know all the factors that can affect how many auditions you get, let's dive on into my audition tracker. I use Google Docs so that everything is streamlined and saved and organized. I organize it by show, who got me the audition, when was the audition, whether it was a self-tape or in person, the character description, the casting director, the writer, director, the producer, showrunners, my preparation method, whether or not I received a callback, any feedback that was given to me, and who eventually booked the role. And that's an important column because then you have your own feedback right there. So this is not my original idea. I took a class at Career Activate, and this was something I learned from them. So shout out to Jonah if you're watching this or if you've heard of Career Activate. Go take their classes. I highly recommend them. Let's count up all the auditions I had for April during my normal-ish busy season. This is also when I was shooting the show that I was shooting. Can't talk about it yet, but you'll see. Vlogs are coming. So that is 7 total. Fast forward to May. During my slower season, the slowest time of the year, I had 2. So it definitely fluctuates. These auditions are for theatrical only, meaning for TV and film, because that's my main focus. However, I did still also have auditions for commercials, for voiceover commercials, for voiceover animation, and for voiceover video games as well. All of those combined are generally 8 to 10 per week, on top of whatever theatrical auditions I have. So it can feel very hectic, especially when I'm busy with theatrical auditions. Now, let's take a look at some of my recent self-tapes for these projects.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
And there you have it. a look inside my audition tracker. And now you've seen some of my self-tapes, and now you know how many auditions I get per month. Please don't compare how many auditions I receive with what you receive. Remember all the factors that we just talked about and what can contribute to how many auditions you get. So please keep that in mind. I've linked the Audrey Help Doctors podcast in the description box down below. Give them a listen. And don't forget to use my link in the description box down below, as well as my code NICO to get your first month Backstage for $5. Such a steal. Wow. If you're still watching, congratulations, YouTube has recommended these next videos for you. Look at that. Give them a watch, and I'll see you all in a new video Thursday after next. Bye.